and it was on the Louisiana side, the northeast side. There were 186 waypoints in one area. So what do? Just like here before. I had all these waypoints over here, some here, some here, some here, some here. I ripped my map in half and I threw that part away. I tear this map in half and I throw that away. I'm just going to focus here. Now, if the winning fish aren't going to be caught here, how am I going to do in this tournament? Not so good, okay? But that's the best I can do. From the information I've gathered, that's the waypoints I think should be holding fish. Now I go to Toledo Bend. I find that there's a boat ramp right in the middle of all these waypoints. I'm going to launch there. The next thing I do is I try to find the hotel that's closest to that boat ramp. Why? I'm trying to save fuel. I'm trying to save money. So I find the hotel. $39 a night. Flea bag hotel. Come on, you guys want to come fish the boat trail with me? Stay in $39 flea bag hotels. Drive 3,800 miles to Toledo Bend and back in the truck. Pull in your boat all the way there in snowstorms and all this stuff. Okay? So I get there. Back my boat in the water. I don't know if any of these waypoints are any good. Remember, I didn't go to the lake, find the drop-off point or piece of cover and put a waypoint on it. I'm looking at a map. So I got to find out how many of these waypoints are close enough to that exact spot. So I go out, I go to the closest one to me. I pull up, and honestly, where I had the waypoint in the boat, based on the map, was off of the drop-off edge by about 10 or 12 feet. Pretty close. Pretty good. So I delete that waypoint, and I mark this one. All right. Now, I should have kept going. But I'd never been on Toledo Bend, so I wanted to fish it. Weed edge over here. Tommy Martin told me, find weed edges in 8 to 10 feet. That's an 8 to 10 foot spot. Got a beautiful little point weed edge. He said, throw a 7-inch zoom, rake, worm on a 3-aught hook. Slip sink a 3/8 ounce. I skip it out there just like I'm sure it was this rod, to be quite frank with you. I skip it out there, my first cast on Toledo Bend, and I'm saying, geez, I wonder if Tommy is telling me the truth. And off it goes. The first 12 waypoints, I caught 4+ pound bass. So let me just say this, when people say to me, how do you guys come to a local lake you don't know of before, and how do you find the best fish in the lake, the biggest fish? How do you find them so fast? By doing our homework, by knowing seasonal patterns, by not wasting time. Have you ever been out on the water, you're not catching fish, and there's this long old flat and you haven't fished it? It's half a mile. I said, you know what? I'm just going to go fish that flat. I'm just going to go fish that cove. I'm just going to go fish that point. Have you done that before? I used to do that. Don't do that anymore. Look, take a look at a map of the lake. As crude a map as possible, doesn't matter. Or as detailed as possible. You want detailed maps? Get Navionics chips. They're unbelievable mapping chips. If you're buying paper maps, I'm the guy that really still likes to look at paper maps. Buy the Navionics maps. We get them all here in the store. They're not expensive. Find your favorite lake, buy the map, study the map. When I study a map, I do all seasons of the map all at once. If I'm going to spend a couple of hours looking at a map, and I look and I say, hey, I'm fishing the summertime pattern, I want the main lake stuff, I might as well find the northwest quadrant stuff for when I come back here sometime in the spawn. I map the whole thing. If it's a spawning spot for me, it's circled in black. If it's a deep water summertime, it's going to be blue. If it's post-spawn, it's orange. And it's on drop-off edges. They lay their eggs, they come out to the first drop-off edge deeper than 10 feet, and they hang out there. I take an orange marker and I mark that whole edge. And what I'm looking for on that edge is I'm looking for a turn. So if this is a 14-foot drop-off edge, it turns and goes this way, that's where I put my waypoint. They're going to be right there, post-spawn. That's the first drop-off edge outside. They're going to be there. Put a waypoint on it. Drive to it. Fish around it. 20 yards before it, right through it, 20 yards after it. Here's what I do. I have fun doing this. You know how you hear pros never throw boats, they never throw out markers in the water? Yes, we do. All the time. You know why you never see them? My markers are black. So when I throw out a marker because I want to fish the spot, and you go zipping by in your boat, you can't see my black marker. I'll tell you why you can't. One, I've painted them black. Number two, it's the size of a tic-tac box. If there's fish there, and I'm fishing for the next 2 days, and then there's a tournament for 3 or 4 days, I don't even pick it up. I leave it there every day. I leave it there at night. No one ever sees it. Ever. I pick it up the last night. So I put my marker buoys down, no one ever sees it. They're this big and they're black. How can I find them? I have Humminbird electronics in my GPS. When I put that spot here and I come back 2 years from now, if that marker buoy hasn't been picked up or taken by somebody or been blown away, I'm going to be within 3 years. That's how accurate the Humminbird GPS is. Okay. So if I think this is the spot, yeah. If I think this is the spot, I've marked it on a map. Maybe my map said it was here. Now I come to the spot, I drive around it, I go, oh, it's not there, it's right here. I delete this waypoint, I put this one on it, I throw a black marker buoy on it. Now I back off, and I'm going to fish 20 yards before it, and I come up, I fish exactly the spot, and I fish 20 yards by it. If I catch a fish, great. If I don't, I leave the. I would probably pick that marker buoy up because I didn't catch a fish, but I've marked that GPS. Watch how it changes. I go to the next place to do the same thing. I fish 20 yards to the left of it. I come up, I make a cast, boom, I catch a fish. You think I'm moving that? No, I'm not moving that buoy. It's in exactly the right spot. I'm going to fish that spot. The other thing is that I might think that that's the perfect spot, but what I don't know is there's something on the structure somewhere near that drop edge that's a little better. They're going to come up to this spot first, but maybe there's a rock pile that drops a little brick. Comes back 2 days later, drops a second brick. No one ever sees them do that. Drops a third, it's got 100 bricks down there. Okay? What happens? The fish come up, or they come out, and when they get active, they move to the brick pile. So what I do is I fish right around that spot, and it's like, boom, I'm catching them here. Boom, I'm catching them here. I should be catching them here, but there's a piece of cover they like better than me. And that's, so if you've got a favorite place, if you've got your favorite spots on lakes, we all catch big fish in different places, right? You got a favorite spot you like to fish, get a map of that lake and start studying the spots you're catching fish. And if it's always 14-foot drop-off edge, look on your map for other places on that lake with a 14-foot drop-off edge. Next time you have a tournament, you go to your favorite spot, boom, you catch 3 or 4 fish there. If you've got 3 or 4 other spots 14-foot deep, go to them next. Okay? So that's how you catch a lot of fish in the day. So locally here, what's critical here is watercolor is really important. The fish here, you've got to match the hatch much more importantly in clear water here than you do in other parts of the country because of how fish feed and how they react. If you're down south and those fish are in muddy water, let me just tell you, you can make a lot of mistakes. You can be sloppy in shallow water and still catch fish. You cannot be sloppy downstairs in deep water and catch them. You won't get them. Okay. Well, thanks for taking the time to come out here today. I appreciate you coming to Bass Pro Shop. I'm going to hang out for a few minutes and answer any questions that you have, and I appreciate you coming out.